say a wolf is born with hunger in its blood, teeth meant for tearing, a howl meant for warning. But what if a wolf could choose something else? Not fear, not dominance, but peace. This is the story of a wolf and the boy who saw himself in it. In a small town on the edge of pine woods, there lived a boy named Jonah. He was 15, tall for his age, but always tense, shoulders hunched, fists ready, because life had taught him one lesson: fight or be crushed. At home, his parents fought. At school, kids mocked him for stuttering for secondhand shoes. So Jonah fought, fists in hallways, words sharp as broken glass. He wasn't mean, he was scared. But fear often wears the mask of anger. One afternoon, after a fight left his lips split and his pride burning, Jonah ran into the woods. He needed silence, but the woods gave him something else. Under the shadow of tall pines, Jonah froze. There, by a stream, stood a wolf. His fur was scarred, one ear torn, eyes golden and steady, not attacking, not running, just standing. Jonah's breath caught, his fists clenched. Every story he'd heard screamed, danger. But the wolf only lowered its head, lapped water, and looked at him. Not with hunger, not with fear, with calm. Then it turned and walked deeper into the trees, not fleeing, not fighting, just choosing peace. Jonah followed. Day after day, Jonah returned. The wolf never attacked, never cornered prey in front of him. It hunted, yes, but it also rested. It watched sunsets. It lay on rocks, quiet as stone. And Jonah began to wonder, maybe strength isn't always the fight. He whispered one day, voice trembling, "You're not what they say you are you?" The wolf tilted its head as if to answer. And Jonah felt the truth. The wolf was not his enemy. It was his reflection, a creature scarred by battles, but still capable of calm. At school, Jonah tested it. When kids shoved him, he didn't swing. When they laughed at his stutter, he breathed and walked on. It wasn't easy. His fists burned with memory. His pride screamed for war. But in his mind, he saw the wolf, scarred, steady, choosing peace by the stream. Some nights, Jonah's father yelled until the walls shook. Jonah wanted to shout back, break something, prove he was strong. Instead, he stepped outside, looked up at the sky, and whispered, "Not tonight. I choose peace." But peace is not weakness. One winter, Jonah heard gunshots in the woods. Hunters. He ran, heart hammering. Through snow and broken branches, he found them. 3 men cornering the wolf. Its fur bristled, teeth bared, but it was outnumbered. "Leave him," Jonah shouted. His voice cracked, but his body stood firm. The men laughed. "It's just a wolf, kid." Jonah's knees shook, but he planted his feet, spread his arms wide. "If you shoot him, you shoot me too." Silence. Cold air like glass between them. The hunters cursed, lowered their rifles, and left. Jonah turned. The wolf was trembling, scarred body heaving, but its eyes, golden, steady, met his. And in that look, Jonah knew, peace doesn't mean never fighting. It means fighting for what matters most. That night, Jonah wrote in his notebook, "The wolf chose peace, and so will I." He circled one word, peace. And maybe tonight you're standing at the edge of your own fight. Maybe life has cornered you with insults, with storms, with battles that never seem fair. Maybe your fists are tired. Maybe your heart is heavy. But listen, you don't have to choose the war inside you. Picture yourself as that scarred wolf by the stream, strong enough to fight, brave enough to walk away. So let me ask you, if you had to choose one word to live by tonight, just one, what would it be? Share that word quietly in the comments. Years passed. Jonah grew into a man. He left the fights behind, but carried the wolf within him. When coworkers mocked his accent, he breathed, chose calm. When bills piled high, he didn't explode, he planned. When his own son trembled at schoolyard bullies, Jonah knelt and whispered, "You don't always win by fighting. Sometimes you win by refusing to become what hurt you." And his boy understood because Jonah had lived it. So maybe tonight you feel like Jonah once did, back against the wall, fists ready, heart heavy. Remember this, even a wolf scarred, fierce, born for battle, can choose peace. And so can you. Peace is not weakness. The strength under control. It's courage with calm. It's the fight you refuse so you can win the war that truly matters. So breathe, step back, choose your word. Because the day you do, you'll realize you're not chained to the war inside you. You're free, you're rising, and like the wolf, you've chosen peace. If this story reminded you that peace is power, hit like, subscribe for daily motivational stories, and share this with someone who needs to hear. Even the fiercest wolf can choose peace.